Gold leaf are made of the finest Virginia tobacco in the world.
We've been here before. A few decades ago, the tobacco companies could blithely create the impression that cigarettes were good for you.
Players Gold leaf are really worth smoking.
I'd like you to rise.
For a long time, the bosses of the tobacco firm stuck to their claim that cigarettes did not cause cancer and weren't addictive.
50s.
Yes or no? Do you believe nicotine is not addictive?
I believe nicotine is not addictive, yes.
Mr. Johnston?
I believe nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
We have to sell cigarettes to your kids.
But as the scientific evidence mounted up, they started using lobbyists to cast doubt on it, much as Exxon has been funding people who maintain that man-made climate change won't cause us serious harm. But the connection doesn't end there.
The tobacco industry, how low will they go to make a profit?
I've discovered that there's a direct link between the tobacco companies and the claim that climate change isn't happening. Searching through their archives, I've found that Philip Morris was one of the first organisations to throw a smokescreen over global warming. Why? Well, the documents I've found show that in 1993, Philip Morris's public relations company advised that a so-called grassroots coalition should be set up to cast doubt on studies showing that second-hand tobacco smoke is dangerous for health. In order not to excite suspicion that Philip Morris had funded this coalition, they suggested that it should link the tobacco issue with other more politically correct products and campaign on issues like global warming. The group Philip Morris set up became one of the major organisations casting doubt on climate change. It was called the Advancement of Sound Science Coalition. It later took $30,000 from Exxon. Some of the invented scientific research this group has circulated, such as the idea that large numbers of glaciers are growing, has been cited by Melanie Phillips.
There are people who say that the majority of the glaciers are not retreating. The majority of the ice at the poles is actually not retreating. It's a complex picture. Some of it is retreating, some of it is increasing.
Why are they trying to scare us? Global warming.
The Competitive Enterprise Institute, which made those videos, has also received at least $125,000 from the tobacco firm Philip Morris.
We call it life.
Some British groups have also taken money from both tobacco and oil companies. Julian Morris runs the International Policy Network, which he admits has received at least £157,000 from Exxon and £10,000 from a tobacco firm. His group lobbies against major cuts in greenhouse gases. I asked him whether he's simply doing the bidding of his funders.
We develop our own programs. Those programs are independent of any foundation, business or individual who might be interested in supporting us. We then go out to potential supporters and say, will you contribute to us? Those supporters have no oversight of what we do and do not influence what we say.
But if you were taking a position which was hostile to those interests, do you think they'd fund you?
Clearly, people who support International Policy Network believe in what we do.
Same lobby groups, same people, same tactics. Is there any significant difference between the corporate campaign to cast doubt on the dangers of tobacco smoke and the campaign to cast doubt on the dangers of climate change?